I didn't start with Fairyland as a performer. I started with putting in the talking storybooks. But about that same time, I auditioned for the host of the new program that KRON was going to put on, which was the Popeye Show. And the reason they were going to do this was that the Mickey Mouse Club had become so popular that it was driving all of the other stations down at that time. And some stations, some back east, had found that the series of the Popeye was very appealing to the young people, and that started to take the audience away from the Mickey Mouse Club. So KRON had bought the Popeye Show, and they were looking for someone to be the host in between the animated segments. And I had never done anything like that before, but I had this wonderful puppet that had been made, and wasn't doing anything with it. It was sitting in the front room of the apartment where I lived with my mother, with a pillowcase over it, because he kept looking at her and she didn't like that. So he wasn't being used at all. And so I sort of dusted him off and made an audition, and they gave me the job. So here I was with the talking storybooks over in Children's Fairyland, and now I had a host of a TV show, and it seemed rather natural to me to put them together. So I asked Bill Mott, could I come over on to Children's Fairyland on the weekends and be there and entertain the children, and I'll show them how the storybooks work. And that was long before there was the word payola, which which would have prevented this in upcoming years. But he thought that was a great idea. So we signed a contract, and I appeared on the weekends primarily. So I was not really employed by the park department to do puppet shows per se, just to be there. And what I did there was entirely up to me. And so I decided I don't want to stay in back of the puppet theater and come out 3 times a day and say hello. So I carried the king with me, and we walked around and we showed the children the sets, and I loved it. And that's where I really learned about the reaction of children to things as unusual as puppets, because we were together, we were at close range, and it taught me so much I could never have learned anywhere else. You don't learn that like sitting here in front of a camera. And you don't even learn it by bringing children in on a TV set. They're not the same children. But the children that you see when you're walking around a lovely children's park, those are different children. And they react differently because it's their world. It's not our world. And so it was a wonderful experience. And one of the greatest treasures of my life is remembering some of those lovely days. And we had fun with Children's Fairyland too, because we could have King Fuddle's birthday there, and Hostess Twinkies would give out thousands of Twinkies, and everybody came with little gifts for Clarissa the Witch, and it was a wonderful thing. It was sort of like bringing the TV show to the children at home. And you can't do that in national TV, but you can do it in the Bay Area. And they didn't know, of course, when they saw me at home, it was the same screen that they saw Howdy Doody on and Captain Kangaroo. And they didn't know that I was living in Marin County and had this. I mean, and so when it became known that this character was at Children's Fairyland, it was a marvelous place to meet them and to bring them, and they responded wonderfully.